White people are obsessed with black people.
Like, oh, white black people.
Why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here. Me, the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the Sphinx in Egypt in the first place, is because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is. But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. No, just the nose.
When you like something but can't have it, you start obsessing over it, and with time you start resenting it, and that resentment eventually turns into hatred. And the sooner people come to that realization, the better, because this is how racism came about. You know, I used to wonder, like, why are the black people hated this much? Like, what did the black people do to make other people hate them this much, whereas the only thing the black people have ever done was to be victims? Yeah, they've only been victims of oppression, victims of discrimination, yet people seem to hate them so much. People seem to focus so much on the black people. Then it hit me and I was like, oh, it must be something that the black people have that most people do not have, that they feel like they need to have it, but they can't have it. So they are jealous that they can't have it, and therefore they start obsessing over it. And this is exactly how the white people have been. They are obsessing over the black people. And that is what we are going to unpack today. Obsession of the black people. But guys, before I proceed with my full commentary, I would like us to watch some few videos that are relating to this topic, and I'll be back with more commentary.
If the first man were white, the yellow man couldn't even get here. Because two white people cannot produce anything other than what they are. Talk to me. So, I'm not teaching black supremacy. I'm just teaching actual facts. White people, listen to me good now. You can't produce us. It's a mathematical, genetic impossibility. So if you were the first, we couldn't have got here. So, the black man has in himself the whole range of color, because black is not a color. It is the essence from which all color comes.
If Mr. Black and Mr. White live next door to each other, they have the same job, the same income, the same car, the same furniture. Yeah. They both walk out of the house in the morning. Good morning, Mr. Black. Good morning, Mr. White. But Mr. White is still looking, but you've got something that I don't have.
You're saying he's saying that subconsciously.
Saying, right.
Now, wait a minute. All right, we'll give you a chance in just a moment.
In reality, white skin is a genetic recessive status, not as said by Francis Welsing. Even though the white population says that people of color are minorities, You're genetically inferior because you are non-white. That it is the white population that is the minority. The minority on the planet.
That's the reality you're saying.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
That in spite of the fact that black people, non-white people have heard over and over again.
Meaning that if you and I were to have a baby, the baby would have color, and you make the contribution and I don't.
That white
So
plus
what?
colored, well, wait a minute. It's not Francis Welsing that is concerned about the disappearance of white. There have been multiple articles in the newspaper talking about the decline of Western populations.
Here, incidentally, this was the percentage of the West's population in 1900, the turn of this century, about 30%. This is where we'll be less than 10% in the year 2075. Here's where we are about today, 15. So we're not having babies.
So whites are not having babies, and there is the concern about white genetic annihilation. In other words, I look at, this is Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday holiday, and people will say, well, here's a man who talked about love. Why was he killed? And I say that the deeper logic is, what if all black and white people and non-white people and white people love? What would happen to white people? White would disappear. You see, just mix all of the people on the planet up
In other words,
together.
if race didn't matter, or if color didn't matter, it follows with the jet plane.
No, I'm not saying if it didn't matter. I'm saying that indeed if there was a mingling, if we mixed all of the people presently on the planet, stirred them up,
The white freckle-faced people would be gone.
Genetic recessive status would disappear because we have the greatest genetic potential to cause white genetic annihilation.
Because you're the blackest.
Because we, right.
The most color.
Right, we have this ability to produce melanin pigment. We have more of it than anybody else. And so the most pressure is on black people.
So white people will never leave black people alone, and I'm gonna tell you why. White society's obsession with black people isn't new, it's centuries old. If you think about slavery, colonialism, and exploitation, from the start, white wealth in America was built off the backs of black bodies. Sugar, cotton, tobacco, rice. This wasn't just economics, it was a system where white people's very identity was shaped around controlling and owning and watching black bodies. But here's the wild contradiction in all of this, right? While trying to dehumanize us, white culture has always been obsessed with us, right? They copied our music, our style, our language, our food, even our rhythm, all while denying us basic rights. Think about jazz and rock and hip hop and fashion, all born out of black genius, only to be taken, watered down, and sold back to the world with a white face on it. So why can't they just stay away? Because in a system that is built both on exploitation and envy, distance is impossible. White supremacy depends on keeping black people in place, close enough to use, control, or imitate, but never free enough to threaten the hierarchy. It's a sick paradox, fear and fascination at the same damn time. On a psychological level, it's projection. White folks will project their guilt, their fear, and their insecurities onto blackness, and then turn around and crave the very life, culture, and resilience they tried to destroy. It's like they want the sauce, but not the struggle. Now, to be real, not every white person acts like this, but the system, the way whiteness has defined itself against blackness, makes it so this obsession keeps resurfacing. Whether it's over policing or culture appropriation or trying to legislate our lives, it always comes back to the old need to dominate mixed with a quiet desire to be what they can't.
Racism is really just infatuation. They're not going to tell you that, though. Like, they're absolutely, like, think about it. Racist white people, they really hate black people simply because they love their skin. Like, they love your dark skin. Think about a dark skinned black person. Do you not know how rich and beautiful that skin looks? Do you know how rich and beautiful that it looks? It literally, you can just look at it and tell that it holds power. So it's more over a thing like they look at it and they're like, wow, I admire that. But I hate that you have it and I don't. So I have to make you feel bad for it. That's why they spend so much time trying to get us broken up, you know, even too, like when it comes amongst of our own people. Like, that's why colorism exists, all of that, because they want you to hate your own kind. Because we really, to be honest, deep down inside, we're intimidated. We love you, but we also hate you. But we don't know what to do with the energy that we love your skin and your culture and certain things that we like about it so much. So guess what? We have to make you hate it. And now I want to do things. And then too, I'm getting into white supremacy. Now, when it comes to white supremacy, it's like I have to do things to put myself in higher power so that you can feel less. You got to feel below me. Because you already hold power. I can look at you and just tell. Look at your dark, rich skin. And even too, when it's moisturized, do you see how you look? Nah, I got to figure out something. They was probably like, nah, we got to figure out something to keep these people distracted, to make them hate themselves, to keep the world divided. We need to feel better than them at all costs. Let's figure out something. But deep down inside this infatuation, I love your skin. I love your skin. I just want you to hate it, though. Because I can't have it. Or I really desire that for myself, but it can't happen for me, so I'm going to make you hate it. That's what it is.
Some white people seem unable to stop focusing on the Black Americans, and it's not just admiration for music or fashion. They seem fascinated for the Black culture, history, and even struggles. This phenomenon raises questions about obsession versus appreciation. You know, admiration for Black culture is common and natural. So enjoying R&B, hip-hop, or even learning about Black history reflects respect. However, obsession occurs when admiration turns into fixation. In these cases, Black identity is treated as a trend, as a performance, image, rather than a lived experience. This pattern is increasingly visible in popular culture and digital spaces. And this pattern has historical roots. You find that media representation portrays Black people as cool, edgy, exotic, which simultaneously fuels fascination and stereotypes. And this has definitely created a cycle of idolization mixed with commodification. This pattern illustrates an obsession that is less about respect and more about fascination of an identity that does not belong to them. This fascination has consequences. Black people experience dehumanization when their culture is treated as a trend while their struggle continues to be ignored. You find that the society has created a systemic imbalance where the non-Black people continue to profit from Black creativity. The rich meaning of Black culture is reduced to mere entertainment, erasing its significance and history. The observation of this pattern reveals a clear distinction. That appreciation involves learning, respecting, and supporting Black culture, while obsession involves treating it as a trend. So as we continue to benefit from the Black culture, let us emphasize on respecting it over fascination and meaningful engagement over passive consumption. Guys, this has come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching up to this point. If you're new here, this is Talk with Kate. If you haven't subscribed, kindly consider subscribing to this channel, like this video, and share. Until the next episode, bye.